Welcome to SENS Talk. My name is Brennan. I'm your host. Let's get started. The Ottawa Senators are playing against the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. Big game. If the Sens lose, they are technically not out of the playoffs, but they are officially out of the playoffs. There's no way they'll be able to make the playoffs. If they lose tonight against the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Boston Bruins all are tied with 95 points. The Ottawa Senators have 93 points after a loss, 3-2 shootout loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs in the 7th round. And that was a very disappointing loss. If we would have won that game and then won against Pittsburgh, we would have definitely made the playoffs. But now, of course, everything has to be hard for us to make the playoffs. Or I still believe, because Pittsburgh, they maybe, I don't know, 3-4 months ago, they were second in the Metropolitan, and now they're our first wildcard team. So the Sens need the win in regulation here to tie Pittsburgh. They have 2 games left against the Rangers and the Philadelphia Flyers. They win those 2 games, 4 points, and Pittsburgh loses 1, 2 points in the playoffs. Anything can happen there. Extended Sens talk, everything's exciting. So let's talk about the game tonight for the Sens versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins are 42, 26, and 11. They've scored 211 goals. They've allowed 203 goals. They've currently lost 3 games in a row, and their power play is 19.76. Senators lineup is 40 wins. It's been a little while since we've won 40. It's been a year or two, so it's always good to be there. 26 and 13. 222 goals we've scored. We've allowed 211 goals, though. And our current losing streak is in overtime at 1 game. Our power play is a little bit improved, like 30% improved. We scored 2 power play goals versus the Leafs at 16.97. This game is on RDS, TSN 5, and Root Sports in Pittsburgh. The lineups for the game, this is a very important game. Like I said before, if the Sens win this in regulation, they'll be tying the Pittsburgh Penguins. If they win this in the shootout or overtime, then they'll be 1 point back with 2 games in hand, with 2 games left, which is still possible. But we really, really need to win this in regulation. The past 2 games we've lost against Pittsburgh in overtime or the shootout. Once we came back, being down like 3-0, I think, or something. We made it a 5-4 loss though in the shootout, but we scored like 2 goals in like 10 seconds and then scored like 2 other goals right away. Great game. We need to score. We need to keep on scoring. We need to keep the pressure on. We need to win this game. It's a very important game in regulation. I don't care how we do it. Just make sure we win in regulation. Penguins lineups is David Perron, Sidney Crosby, Patrick Hornquist, Chris Kunitz, Evgeny Malkin, Blake Comeau, Daniel Winnick, Brandon Sutter, Bew Bennett, Nick Spaulding, Maxime Lapierre, Craig Adams, defense pairings, Paul Martin, Ben Lovejoy, Rob Scuderi, Derek Pouliot, Ian Cole, Taylor Chorney, and starting in this, Marc-Andre Fleury. Injured is Chris Letang, Christian Eroff, Pascal Dupuis, Olimata, Steve Downey. The Senators lineup is no different, but I'll tell you it anyway. Clark MacArthur, Kyle Turris, and Mark Stone. Zach Smith, Mika Zibanejad, and Bobby Ryan. Eric Condra, Jean-Gabriel Pageau, and Chris Lazar. Mike Hoffman, which I don't know why he deserves to be on the second line with Zibanejad and Ryan. Ryan hasn't scored in 17 games in a row now. He really needs to pick it up. He was definitely getting closer to that against Toronto. He got into the zone. He tipped it in. He got some shots on net. He got open. Just can't solve the goalie so far. And it was Mike Hoffman, David Legwin, and Alex Giesson. Mark Bethot's goal, it looked like he scored in overtime, but it turns out, I put it on Twitter, on SENS Talk, SENS Talk 1992. Check it out there, or at plant_Brandon, my personal Twitter handle. I showed the line when people were speculating if it went in. Definitely did not go in. It missed by a few inches out on the post, and they just took them a few days for some reason to show us that it missed the net. And it was that close to getting the extra point. A few inches and we would have been playoffs. Now it's a struggle. So, what can I say? And it was Eric Carlson with him, Patrick Burkhardt, Cody Ceci, Mark Borietzky, Eric Graba, Henrik Lutterson, Andrew Hammond. Scratched is Colin Greeding and Jared Cowan. Injured is Robin Leonard, Chris Phillips, Chris Neal, Milan McCulloch, and Matt Pumple. Stone, the Calder Cup candidate. I personally think he's one of the most points in the league after the All-Star break. I think he's gonna win the Calder. That's for sure. I'm almost certain he's gonna win the Calder. Stone has 4 goals and 4 assists in his past 6 games, so that's 8 points in 6 games. That's incredible, especially for a rookie. MacArthur has 2 goals and 3 assists in his past 4 games. That's 5 points in 4 games. Turris has a goal and 4 assists, so 5 points in his past 3 games. Cole for the Penguins has 5 assists in his past 4 games. And Sutter has 2 assists in his past 2 games. So watch out for those players tonight, because those players should be hot, as they already are hot right now. Definitely watch out for Stone. He's been scoring big goals for the Sounders lately, and the Sounders, Coach Cameron said this literally before the press even asked the questions at the break, after the pregame skate or whatever you want to call it. He said, "Hi, I'm Coach Cameron. I'm the head coach of the Sounders, and I need 2 points." He turned off the microphone and walked off. That's all you need to know. He knows he needs 2 points. He knows there has to be tough discipline. We cannot get stupid penalties. We gotta play hard. We gotta score. We gotta win this regulation. Get 2 points. We need to get in the playoffs. If he obviously wants to make the playoffs. What a turnaround by the Sounders this year. Even God forbid, even if you don't make the playoffs. What a way to end the season. Going 15-3 and 4 or 5 or something. It was crazy, something like that. It's amazing. I'm so happy. It's really cool. And their Ottawa Sounders are one of the hottest teams in the league, but the Leafs have been crushing them lately, which I hate. They've always